everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today, we're doing a Get Ready With Me featuring the Dead Roses 2 palette by BellaBeauteBar. This is a beautiful grungy color story that recently was released. I had the first one, which I loved, but when I saw these shades, I knew I had to pick this one up. I also picked up from the collection the new highlighter. This is such a pretty color. It's a beautiful gold to peach kind of color there. And there's a swatch there. You can see the shifts there going from pink to orange. I see blue and purple. So pretty. So we're going to use that today as well. I also ordered one of the lip balms. Well, I can't see the writing, it's too small. But this is the color, which I think is absolutely stunning. I'm excited to use that. And I'm about to go out with some friends of mine for dinner. And I thought, why not get ready with you guys? So this is my first look with the palette. And if anybody knows me, they know that usually if I have a palette that's got greens in it, that's where we're going first. So no surprise, that's where we're going today. So the mattes I think I'm going to use are going to be Wilt, Decay, Regret. Well, we don't have too much of that today. And I may put some of this Sorrow on the outer V. And the shimmers, you know, I have to go into this green one. Transition right here. And then we may have a little bit of lost level reflection, so we'll figure out. But that's what I'm feeling today. A nice greeny look. So I'm going to start with the reference number 10. And I think I'm going to go ahead and start with that murky green shade. Start with that murky green shade, Decay. So I'm looking forward to going out today. I'm going out with a group of ladies. We're in a group called the Circlettes, and it's a nationwide group for women who have similar goals, aspirations, professional women in all walks of life. And what we do is basically try to get together, spend time, and socialize with like-minded people. We get together usually about once a month, and I'm very excited. I joined the group just a few months ago, and already I've been enjoying it a great deal. Oh, look at that pigment. Usually we go out to different restaurants, so we're going out to an Italian restaurant today. I've been to it before. It's named Carrabba's, but I haven't been to it since I moved to Virginia. So I'm excited to see how this one is today. So now I'm just putting Decay in the crease. I'm just kind of trying to blend it in. I like this as a good transition shade. I love how pigmented it is, and it's applying so well and smooth. Really enjoying that. I like how that looks. All right. So now we're going to go into the lighter shade. I'm using this Sonia G brush. As I told y'all before on one of my Beautylish videos, I'm a big Sonia G fan, loving the brand since it came out, and have quite the collection. But for me, these work so well. Look at that pigment. Oh my goodness. All right, that's beautiful. It's kind of a chartreusey color, and it is blending like a dream. Oh, that is so pretty. I like that so much. So the weather here is much better than it was a couple weeks ago. I'm sure like a lot of parts of the United States, you all may have experienced the ice storm that we had. And I hadn't seen that much ice and snow in quite a few years. And the ice was the real problem. I had about 2 or 3 inches in around my house, and so that made a nice little Oreo sandwich with the snow. So neither one of those friends went away for a while. In fact, I still have a patch in my backyard that still has not gone away yet. So Still there, but luckily it's been warmer, and the last few days the weather has actually been very nice. But that is good, so I can't complain about that much at all. Otherwise, I hope you all are having a great Saturday. If you're watching this on Saturday, I'm recording on a Saturday. And hope you're doing something fun. Y'all have to tell me if y'all prefer winter, or do you prefer spring or summer or fall? My actual favorite time of year, believe it or not, is fall. So you get to wear really pretty clothes, in my opinion. But it's not too cold, and of course not too hot. So it's my favorite season of the year. Y'all have to tell me what is yours. But I love the fact that I can wear a variety of clothes. Maybe long sleeve some days, short sleeve others. But always get to have that change. One thing about me is I'd rather be cold than hot. I do not like being hot at all. Because, you know, let's just be honest, there's a limit to how many clothes you can take off. So I prefer to be comfortable, but if I have to be a little chilly, that's okay. You can always put on more clothes. So I'm blending in that shade a little bit, and you know, you can always go back and forth. I didn't put any more shadow on my brush. I'm just using the same brush that I used to put in the Decay shade to try to blend between that one. And the Wilt shade. We're just blending between the two until I get the part that I like. And if I feel like I want to add a little bit more color, I may add a little bit more of Wilt just so I don't lose it after I was blending. But you can see the pigmentation is A1, as it usually is with BellaBeauteBar. I really love their shadows. I always find them to be very easy to use, very pigmented. And I purchased this palette myself. I purchased a lot of their palettes because I'm such a fan of their formula. And of course, again, if you knew me, as soon as I see a green color story, you know it's pretty much add to cart if I can. So, all right, so now we're going to add, and I'm using a Ross & Benn brush. This is a E28. I'm gonna put some of the Regret shade just on the outer V, going a little bit into the crease to kind of darken up that transition area there. Look at that. I just love a grungy look. Love a grungy green look. It's one of my favorite looks to create, I should say. And as I said, always creating with BellaBeauteBar is always a pleasure. So, I'm a big, big, big fan. And this palette is no exception. It's the same quality that I expect from the brand, most of the palettes that I get from them. So I'm just blending in, trying to make sure that I have things looking the way I want it to. That's good. I may go back in a little with that brush that I had on Decay, because I don't want that color to be lost. I'm kind of using it as a gradient between Wilt and Regret. And again, no additional product on the brush. And just going back and forth, swirling a little bit. Also using some windshield wiper motions. So there you go, just to kind of get the blend I like, and I like that blend. So now we're going to go in with, let's see, what friend do I want to use? Let's use this Hakuhodo brush. I've had this thing for a long time. I don't even know what number it is anymore, but it is a good brush, and I'm going to use that in using that that blackened shade, Sorrow, and we're going to put that just a touch at the very outer aspect of this look of the outer V. Just a touch, just a touch. Oh, like it. Just add a little bit of depth there. Oh, it's pretty. I like that. I feel like a grungy green goddess right now. So definitely a lot of fun there. Okay, great. So Now it's time for everybody's favorite, or at least my favorite, shimmers. So for that, I'm going to use the Shine On Shimmer Shadow Enhancer from Cliona and Bad to the Brow. And we're just going to put just a little bit of that here. I like this because it tends to help my shadows and shimmers from creasing, and also will increase the longevity. I have dry skin. The Sahara Desert has nothing on me, okay? But since my eyelids are a little bit more mature, we'll call it, I still have a lot of creasing on my lids, so I like to use the shimmer base to kind of help with that. So as I mentioned with you, we're going to go into this beautiful shimmer here, transition. Just look at that green. It's so pretty. Okay, I'm going to start there, and we're going to put it right here on the outer part of my lid. I like to use my fingers to put on my shimmers because it seems to make them pop a little bit more foiled. I have that right there, like it. And then next, we're gonna go into the shimmer reflection. And this is this kind of yellowish color. I see some gold flecks in it. I think this will be really nice with this look. Yes, especially with the chartreuse shade that we have on the upper part of my lid, just under the brow. It's so pretty. I think that these two colors really go well together. I like that. So I'm gonna mesh these together a little bit. And I'm gonna use a Singe Beauty E07 brush to kind of fine tune these shimmers just a little bit. So I'm just gonna put a little bit more here. Kind of work on these edge right there just a little bit. Like that. Just work on the edge just a little bit right there, like it. And then we're gonna go back into that reflection shade and just make sure we carve that in where we want it and try to mesh the two together, because I want them to kind of flow. I want them to flow into each other a little bit there. Excellent. I like that a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna finish up the other eye, put on some lashes, liner, and then I'll come back with the final look.
I wanted to take a break in our regularly scheduled programming to do a new segment that I'd like to call Scent of the Day. Today's choice is the Marc Jacobs Daisy Murakami Yellow Limited Edition Eau de Parfum for women. The fragrance family is florals with the scent type of fruity florals. Notes are strawberry, at the heart, raspberry, and base, cedarwood. Encounter the perfect mix of sweet, fruity notes and earthy undertones. I just love the beautiful strawberry and raspberry notes in this perfume and highly recommend.
All right, I'm back, and this is the look. Just wanted to let you know that what I ended up doing was on the inner corner, I put a little bit of this gray shade right here, and then I just kind of mirrored what was on the upper lid down at the lower lash line. Started with Wilt, then blended into Decay, and then added Regret, and then finished off with just a little bit of Sultry. I thought we would put on the highlighter together. So let me grab my brush here. This is from the Sigma and Samantha Ragnall collection. So I'll use this and put just a little bit on here. And then we'll just put a little bit on the, look at that. Oh, that's so pretty. I love how you can see the orange and the gold in that. And that is definitely not for the faint of heart. So we'll do some here on the other cheek. And you can see that right there. You can see the shifts from pink to orange. That is so pretty. All right. Okay, and so that's probably a little bit more shiny than I like to be. So we're gonna kind of buff this out just a smidge. Just a smidge, not enough to lose it, but just to kind of blend that into my cheek just a little bit more. But you can see how prominent that is. That is so pretty. And I really love it with this eye look. I really love it with this eye look. So that's pretty. All right, so on my lips, I put on the Dose of Colors and Naima Tang lip liner, and this is the chocolate chip lip liner. It's discontinued, unfortunately, but it's still a favorite of mine. So then we're going to use this BellaBeauteBar, this new lip balm that they came out with. And we're just gonna put this right. I like this one. Just glides on, and the shimmer in here you don't feel. That's one of the things I really like about it. So I think that's a big compliment to this look. All right, so that's the end of my look today. I hope you like it. Other deets for my makeup, the Estee Lauder Double Wear, the OG. That's the foundation I have on. As far as my concealer, we're still using our friends 9, 12, and 15 from Dede Signature Yummy Skin Concealer line. We used the Pat McGrath under eye palette in the shade Deep. For my bronzer, we're still using our friends, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer in shade number 4. As you can see, she and I have gotten along well. As far as my setting powder, I did use the Hourglass powder, and I did have a subscriber ask me in one of my other videos what I thought about this powder. I like it a lot. It works very well with my skin tone. I feel like it really settles in my foundation very well. I really truly do enjoy it. It's a translucent deep shade, so it doesn't change the color of my foundation, but it lets it sit. It sets it very well, which I really truly enjoy. So highly recommend this if you're interested in that powder. As far as blush, we use the Blend Buddy Masterclass. Love this in Jordan Liberty, and we use the shade Calvera. That's that orange there at the top. She is well loved. And that's it for what I have on my face today. So I'm gonna get ready to go hang out with my friends. I hope you're all having a fabulous day. And just remember, live your best life. This is not a dress rehearsal. You're on stage, so make it the best performance ever. Bye, till next time. See you later, guys.